Yo, I wanted to talk to you because I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong. I remember seeing something when I was like younger. When you were in the league, were you throwing up your neighborhood like ever on video? Like when you were like making shots and shit? Because that never happened.
Nah.
Okay, because I wanted to ask you about how you feel about the John Morant shit. Because obviously the John Morant shit's kind of interesting. And you were obviously a young kid who came from a serious area of LA.
Yeah.
Got drafted into the league. I'm sure you dealt with a lot of shit.
I was just guilty by association, but I mean, I don't remember, maybe off the court. But I don't remember like on the court. Maybe I did, sometimes you get hype, you know what I'm saying? Like anything happened.
But obviously but
we did a lot back then. You feel what I'm saying? It was a lot. We did a lot back then. And it was a lot of, if we had social media back then, everybody would be like, have horrible tarnished images, you know what I mean? Because it was just, back in the day, like wasn't no camera phones. So like whatever was cracking, right then and there, it was what was cracking. Like you had to have a video person. You had to tell somebody bring a camera.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Back then. So, a lot of people was like, not so much getting in trouble, like, because I don't think John Morant is in trouble. You know what I mean? Like he did some, some stupid shit, right? But at the same time, like we've been doing stupid shit for the longest time.
For a long time.
You
but
know
there just
what I mean?
wasn't
It's
everyone
just now
just
it's
didn't
under
have...
a microscope.
Right.
Yeah. It's under a microscope because, I was saying to my friends, man, I cried on my 25th birthday. I cried on my 30th birthday. And on my 35th birthday, I was like, damn, dude, I'm going to make it. I'm going to actually live. You know what I mean? And so just thinking about, that journey from the time I got drafted to the time I hit 30 was just a lot. Coming back home, you know what I mean? Having to deal with that, being on the road, people, just during the season, people think you soft, say something to you. You got to go find them in the off season and see if it's real.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? Like, just wild. You know what I mean? And, like, I think once I kind of got to Golden State, things just start kind of, like, leveling out. I was like, man, let me change who I am. And like, I don't need to be this. This is not me. You know what I mean? I'm not like this, I want to be.
Like, what do you have to prove? Like
I didn't have shit
like
to
you're
prove.
a fucking, you're a millionaire. You're on TV every day playing basketball.
And at the same time, like, bro, I'm scared to die.
Yeah,
it's real out here. You know what I mean? Like they shoot at athletes out here back in the day.
Crazy,
right? Remember Jalen Rose got shot at. Why are you shooting at Jalen Rose?
Right.
Who the fuck shoots at Jalen Rose? You know what I mean? And he was on Sunset. So that just, for me, it was just like that era was a lot of jacking. It was a lot of pressure, extortion. Just
like NBA players are getting extorted?
All day. NBA players, rappers, musicians, anybody came to LA, it was just not a good place to be. You know what I mean? Like if you got found or you was out shopping, and like if you can stay low, cool. But back then, if you was on the move and you get caught, you at their mercy.
I was gonna say, because I always like obviously a lot of the stuff is highly back to the camera phones thing. We see a lot more of the people getting robbed on Sunset or on Melrose, and it's like, that kind of shit has always been happening in LA. But I feel like back in the day, it was really like peak. You kind of had to come to LA and like, if you were going to move around, you really had to be in line with some guys to make sure that there wasn't any sort of...
that was the whole, like, the tap-in era.
The tap-in era, people's chains were getting took. People had to get the chains back.
Yeah, you get the chain back. We got to, I got a couple chains back from some rappers, actually. No basketball players.
Whose chain did you get back?
Nah, bro. Hey, bro, we don't talk like that.
What label were they from?
I don't even know what label they are. I just know they one of my favorites. A couple rappers, man, that's just how I be. You know what I mean? Like, a couple rappers just like...
Come to LA, shit gets lost in.
And you got to think, like, coming up in that game era with the game, when game was first starting to like break out, it wasn't no blood rappers. It wasn't no Bloods famous, period. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you really think about
Outside
it.
of Mac 10?
Yeah, it was Mac 10 and then the Game, and then everybody was a Blood.
Everybody started being Bloods. You know what I mean? So imagine like rocking with a Blood that is on his way up. You know what I mean? In LA. So it was a lot to deal with that.
And he was the face of LA for like a decade.
Yeah,
he carried the whole coast for like a very long time.
Yeah, and I think it just kind of, for me, like hanging with Game made me realize that, okay, my plan was me and Game rocking together. I mean, he can unify the music, I can unify the hoop, and then we can create this LA unified system where like we can make it better for dudes.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we can stop all the jacking and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like at least if they fucking with us, if they rolling with us, you ain't gonna get jacked, you ain't gonna get robbed, you ain't gonna get into no funny business. You know what I mean? And like that was the goal, is really like once I saw that, I was like, man, like Nip coming, Dom coming. You know, YG had a couple songs, but YG was on his way. You know what I mean? There was a bunch of dudes just like on their rise. And I was like, damn, dude, Kendrick, you know what I mean? J-Rock was out, but J-Rock was like on his way. So like, I remember we did the Crips and Bloods gang documentary. And I was like, man, I need to put a soundtrack together. And on the soundtrack is all them dudes, like damn their first soundtrack.
Right. I remember
first real album.
How long ago was that documentary?
I think,
was that
I
like
want to say
2015?
Nah, 2004, I think.
2004?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was like 2004, or when I got to, it was like 2004.